God, he walks into a realm where earthly attachments lose their grip and eternity becomes real. This is not just loneliness, this is sacred ground. It is the place where the soul discovers its true dependence, not on the approval of others, not on material stability, not on fleeting comforts, but on the presence of the living God. Some of the greatest men who ever walked this earth were men who spent time in the wilderness of isolation. Abraham walked away from everything familiar to follow a voice he could not see. Joseph was betrayed, sold, imprisoned, and forgotten before the dream came to pass. Elijah stood alone against kings and prophets of false gods. They all walked through the fire of solitude, but not a single one walked alone. And neither will you. You are not abandoned. You are being refined. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. God is doing a work in you that no man can see yet. That's why you must not give up. Don't curse the silence. Don't run from the stillness. Stay with it. Something holy is happening. When the world leaves you behind, when friends fall away, when loved ones don't understand, when you stand at the edge of yourself and say, God, I can't take one more step, that's when heaven answers with power. That's when strength rises that's not your own. That's when peace comes in the middle of a storm, not because the waves stop, but because you finally saw the one who walks on water. Faith is forged not in comfort, but in contradiction. When everything says you're alone, yet you choose to believe you're held. When everything says you're finished, yet you hear the still small voice say, I'm not done with you yet. That's faith. That's fire-tested belief, and that is unshakable. God has always been in the business of showing up when all other options are gone. He doesn't need favorable conditions. He doesn't require a crowd. He doesn't wait for perfect timing by human standards. He steps into the prison cell, into the lion's den, into the fiery furnace, not after the crisis, but right in the middle of it. And he does it again and again for those who call on his name. You may be feeling overlooked today. Maybe no one sees your pain. Maybe they see your strength, but not your struggle. They see the smile, but not the sleepless nights. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to believe the lie that you have to carry this all on your own. But I came to tell you, you don't. You were never meant to. There's one who sticks closer than a brother. One who will never leave you nor forsake you. One who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. One whose eyes are on the sparrow and whose arms are underneath you even now. He sees the hidden battles. He sees the broken places. He sees the tears that no one else sees. And he says, you are mine. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. There's a kind of prayer that comes only when a man is out of options. It's not polished. It's not pretty. It's raw. It's real. It's desperate. It's the cry that rises from the dust and the ashes and says, God, if you don't show up, I won't make it. And that kind of prayer moves heaven. When you reach the end of yourself, you reach the beginning of grace. And grace is not some fragile concept. Grace is a force. It lifts you up when your knees give out. It carries you when your strength is gone. It wraps you in mercy when you've failed again. Grace is the hand of God pulling you out of the pit, not because you earned it, but because he loves you. I don't know what valley you're walking through. I don't know what the silence feels like in your life, but I do know this. If you've got God, you've got everything you need. When the world fades, when people walk away, when doors close, God remains. And not only does he remain, he restores. God doesn't just sit with you in your brokenness. He rebuilds you. He doesn't just comfort you in your sorrow. He gives you beauty for ashes. He gives you strength for your weakness. He turns mourning into dancing. He turns weeping into joy. There is a future for you. There is hope beyond the pain. There is life after the loss. But you won't find it chasing the approval of people or the pleasures of this world. You'll find it on your knees alone with the one who shaped you in the womb and knows the number of hairs on your head. Don't despise this season. Don't rush the process. Lean into it. Let it purify you. Let it simplify you. Let it draw you closer to the only one who can satisfy the deep places of your heart. This world is full of noise, opinions, distractions, lies. But when you're alone with God, that noise fades. And what's left is truth. What's left is love. What's left is power. That power will fill you. That love will change you. That truth will set you free. There will be a day when you look back on this season not with bitterness but with gratitude. You'll say, it was in that lonely place that I learned to listen. It was in that dark valley that I found the light. It was when I had no one else that I realized God was all I ever needed. And when you rise from this place, you'll carry something unshakable. You'll have a testimony forged in fire. You'll speak with authority, not because you read it in a book, but because you lived it in your bones. Yes, you'll carry peace into chaotic rooms. You'll bring hope to broken people. And when they ask, how did you survive, you'll say, I had no one but God. Amen. And that was enough. You are not disqualified. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond repair. In fact, you are exactly where you need to be for a miracle to unfold. When a man has no one but God, he is ready to be used by God. He is no longer leaning on shallow support systems. He is no longer intoxicated with applause. He is no longer chasing what can never satisfy. He is standing on the rock. And that kind of man cannot be shaken. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter that changes everything. Stay faithful, stay humble, stay available. God is not done. He is writing something beautiful, even if right now all you see are broken lines. Trust the author. He finishes what he starts. When a man finds himself in the depths of solitude, it is easy for him to feel as though he has been abandoned by the world. The silence of an empty room, the absence of voices, and the lack of human presence can be overwhelming. In those moments, loneliness can feel like a curse, a painful reminder of what has been lost, or of the relationships that have faded away. But what if this very solitude is not a curse at all? What if it's the sacred space where God works most powerfully in a man's life? The truth is, solitude is often where transformation takes place, where a man can hear the voice of God most clearly and where his soul can be shaped for something greater. It is in the quiet, in the moments of being alone, that a man can strip away the distractions of the world. The hustle and bustle of life often drown out the still, small voice of God. In the noise of daily living, we are bombarded with opinions, expectations, and endless demands. But when a man is alone, without the pressure of pleasing others or responding to the constant stream of noise, it becomes easier to listen, to reflect, and to be still in the presence of God. In solitude, a man is invited into a deeper relationship with his Creator. There is no one else to impress, no one else to answer to, just the unfiltered connection between the soul and the Almighty. This is the space where God can begin His work of personal transformation. The distractions that once clouded his mind fall away, and he begins to see clearly. Solitude allows a man to confront the deepest parts of his heart, the parts that are often hidden from the world and even from himself. It's in the silence that we can see our weaknesses, our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities. But this is not a cause for despair. It is an opportunity for growth. For it is in these moments that God can meet us where we are. Not in spite of our weaknesses, but because of them. God doesn't call the perfect. He calls the broken, the weary, the ones who have nowhere else to turn. And in the quiet, He begins to mold us into who we were always meant to be.
If your recent car accident was not your fault, because I've got a way that you could get 3.5.
Moreover, solitude isn't just a place of self-reflection. It is also a place of revelation. It is in the stillness that we can hear God's voice more clearly than ever. His words can cut through the noise of our lives and pierce our hearts with truth, wisdom, and guidance. When the distractions are gone, God's voice